welcome to episode 3 of the Obstacle Gab. Now, this week we have Jo Dulson-Cox. Jo has been involved in OCR since the beginning as a competitor, but is heavily now involved in the development of British obstacle sports, in particular the development guidance of the technical officials. So, let's get on with episode 3 of the Gab.
Hi.
Okay, good evening and welcome to the third episode of the Obstacle Gab. Tonight, I am humbly blessed by one of the obstacle sports legends who has been around in the sport for many years, have been part of the setup of the British obstacle sports and has been fundamental in leading, guiding, directing the technical official and the whole committee as a whole. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, we have Jo. Good evening, Jo.
Hi, brand placement, everyone.
As you may not realise, Jo...
Not yet. This is later on this year, Junior Championships.
Jo might be a member of the British obstacle sports as adorned on her T-shirt as a member and drinking out of her cup. And what the emblem was she did show you with the line was, of course, the Junior Champs, which happened last year. And this is happening this year, but there also is the Adult Champs as well. So, Jo, good evening and welcome. And how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for having me on this esteemed podcast.
For ones that don't know, we haven't just stolen Jo from BOS. She is actually a member of TOG, so she's dual hatting on this call tonight. So, straight in with the questions then. You are a member of the British Obstacle Sports. Most of our members are aware or are members, but realistically, what is BOS? And then what is this technical official? And members and all that about. So over to you.
Okay, so British Obstacle Sport is the current name from what was UK OSF a few years ago, if anyone remembers that. That was what we are. That was what we were when we first, I can't remember what it stands for, Obstacle Sports Federation.
Yes.
So we created that as the Federation for Obstacle Sports in the UK, and in recent years we've morphed into British Obstacle Sports, which now has obstacle course racing and ninja sports under its umbrella. So we have two disciplines that sit within British Obstacle Sports, the ninja side and the obstacle racing side. And as most people will know, there is crossover now between the two, whereas we were quite separate. We're finding that the 100 metres events are in championships now, and we've got quite a lot of crossover between ninja athletes coming into OCR and doing very well, and OCR athletes having a go at ninja style courses as well. So it's really exciting what's going on at the moment. The federation is just shy, we think it's around about 75 members shy of the number that you need to apply to become a recognised sport. So anyone that's been involved in those conversations over the years of, is OCR a sport? Fingers crossed. Yes, it will.
If you're watching this podcast and you're not a member of the British Obstacle Sports, as warned by or the BOS, if you want this sport to be recognised, get onto the BOS website and become a member. Because the issue is, if you're not a member, you will shortly be finding, especially next weekend, if you want to enter Spartan or you want to enter Tough Mudder, and it's going to be more, you will be asked to provide membership, because the end state is all to get OCR recognised as a sport.
Definitely. So yeah, junior membership, adult membership, supporters membership. So if you're not racing but you support it, still join. Get a 2-year membership, and then you don't have to renew for another 2 years. But this is what we need to access funding and to really put ourselves on that map. And we've all got the goal of Olympics 2028 with modern pentathlon, and you know, that's sort of the peak that everyone's working to at the moment, to really show what the UK can do and be an amazing sport. And I was going to just, if you're interested, which is where I'm a bit of a geeky person now, but if you look at other European countries, they're already recognised, and Sweden at the Euros had their kit provided by their athletics association. So just that recognition can just put us just so much higher with what we can access and what we can do. So join up, please.
So there we go, folks. For becoming a member, junior or adult member, it helps the sport get recognised. We have got 75 to go. So if you know anyone that wants to help and be part of the initial founding member, so when they look back in the past, when you're all old and grey, you can say you were stood on the battle lines and was first into the breach. Now, we have got something, I'll get it. So, Jo, as well as being a member, talk to us about the technical official role.
Okay.
What's all that about?
So the technical official role, I have my bib here too.
Yours is a lot cleaner than mine.
I know. I've got two though. I've got an outdoor one and an indoor one. I know. That's what it's been the chairs like, you see. So I've got one that will go over a dry robe and one that will just go over a t-shirt. So genius. And if anyone was out in, we were so hot when we were in Hungary that just this was amazing. Well, we didn't wear these on, we wore the Hungarian ones, but honestly, you can just put it on just on its own. It was great.
So are you the head? You have a title. It's like a chair of something. Who are you?
The chair of the Technical Officials Development Committee. So
like that.
I have a committee of 8 members.
Yeah.
So we sit within British Obstacle Sports, and I am the chair, and Mike Nolan is my vice chair. And for those that know Mike, is obviously he is also the technical official lead for Spartan, because that's a massive part of our work. So so between me and Mike, we're chair and vice chair, and then we have 6 members who sit on the thing. So Lindsay McEwen, Scottish Lindsay, if everyone knows Lindsay, James Burton, who's obviously our president. We've also got Ian Ross, we've got a lot of Scottish people on our committee, I've just realised. We have got a representative from Ninja as well. We're just looking at who that is at the moment. So we've got a Ninja representative, and then we've currently got Stuart Gollins as well. So that's our sort of committee. So we cross lots of different things with them.
James Byrne. So talk about do the walk and the talk. I was technical official at one of the obstacles in ETM. He did 7 laps, if I remember, and he was still smiling, and I videoed him as he came through my office. So for a head of someone that demonstrates how to go about mental resilience and to keep believing in the goal, he's definitely leading from the front. So yeah.
And he was on an obstacle at Spartan as well the other day, which is great because he does race a lot, but he also did a bit of technical officiating as well, and he gets involved with writing the rule book. So we all race in our own different way, and so we're seeing it from all sides. I think is really key. You know, I'm more of a fun runner, but I still like to see how it works from a competitive element as well.
I like how the management, the committee, the chiefs are not just sitting in their ivory towers and sort of telling people what to do. They're actually doing the event as a competitor, like yourself and James and Michael Nolan, and then also doing the technical officiating or running the tent yourself. So to see people do all of the roles, it means you're leading from the front. You're showing people what to do rather than telling. And I think that inspires more people than anything else. I wish so many other organisations would follow the suit of.
Very true. And if you look at the arguments from technical officiating, which come up after events constantly, people like to make comments, and then we don't say much. We keep very, very quiet, but we listen to what's been said, and we look back on it and make changes. But we know that the people who are technical officiating those obstacles have raced themselves, so it's a bit like, don't mess with them, because they do know what they're talking about, but you have your say about what you're not happy with, and that's fine, because we'll learn from mistakes, but we know the rules because we've done it ourselves.
How many have we got TO wise? I mean, what number have you trained?
So we have trained, so we've trained up to level 2. I've just got the list in front of me, 110. And so that's everyone that's gone up to a level 2. So you go in at level 2. This is where the pyramid works. You go in at level 2 if you've got experience of racing or marshalling OCR. So if you are, you're in the sport already and you've got lots of experience, then we put you straight in at level 2. If you haven't, then we go in at what we call a level 1. So then with them, we do our volunteer training, and we've got another, I don't know how many have done that one. Probably another 40 who have done the level 1 training. So we've trained 110 technical officials and an extra sort of 40 to 50 in our volunteer training as well. And the idea is if the volunteers enjoy it, then they get those experiences and then they can move up to their level 2. But we don't want to throw someone in at the deep end if they've just got no idea what obstacle sports is all about. Because you can have arguments with people on obstacles and people will complain, and and so we want to make sure we support them. Especially when it's podium contention,
yes.
It can get quite difficult. So that's a key thing with us, is making sure our TOs are happy with what they're doing and they're supported.
And this weekend coming, not this weekend we're on, is the big European race at Spartan Tough Mudder here in Gloucestershire. And I know all eyes will be on the technical officials. And I know Mr. Nolan is running an additional briefing on Tuesday. And I will be there as well as TOing. I think we are focusing on the sprint because that is the champs and the beast. So there will be, the blue bibs will be everywhere, making sure that it is fair, but it is firm and adhered to. So I'm looking forward to that experience.
It's really good. And you even get your Spartan ref t-shirt as well, and your Spartan ref hats. So you are going to be full kitted up. So we've got green t-shirts, which are our Spartan referee t-shirts, and then we have our blue bibs over the top of that, and then we've got our Spartan ref baseball caps. So you cannot we are there. You can see us a mile away.
Now, Jo, you won't tell me this, but I think it should be noted that coming from as a fun runner in OCR and then following the dream and not giving up, you are like an international TO, are you not?
Are you an international TO superstar? Yes, I am.
How many are there?
In the UK, there are two international technical officials in the UK. So our pyramid, talk about my pyramid. So I come from an athletics background. I love pyramids. So you level 1 and level 2, and then level 3 is what we call a national technical official. So you have to, of course, scored 100 points. So you get points for every event that you do. And this is only in the UK that we put these points in. Europe don't have this. So our structure is a little bit more robust, I think, than others. So we have points that you have to do. And so the points for me, when I look at applications for level 3, are showing me what events you've been to, what you've done, how many experiences you've got. And then what we expect is when someone gets to level 3, when they've got their 100 points, you also have to have done a 100-metre or a short course time trial, and you have to have done a classic OCR. So we want people to have experienced both formats. And then when you get to level 3, we are expecting people to go in as that chief judge, that chief official. So James Allen did his first solo head chief at Tough Mudder Infinity last weekend. Yeah, so he was like, I'm a level 3, I'm going to go for it. And that's what we want, is we want people to be able to take charge. So when you've done that a couple of times, 3 times in the UK, we ask for a minimum, and you've got 250 points and you've gone to Europe or World Championships, then you are recommended by World Obstacle to be an international technical official. So I got mine from the European Championships in Hungary, because I officiated on the 100-metre course for 3 days, and then I got my recommendation for my level 4, which is an international technical official.
How many are there in the world?
I don't know, actually. I don't know. I don't think there's that many. So, for example, the World Championships, which are in Belgium, next month. It scares me that it's next month, because we're now August, aren't we? And I'm like, no, it's September. No, it's next month. across the 4 events, 2 of the chief technical officials are British. So myself and Sean Wild, I am the chief official for the 3K course and Sean for the 100 meters. And then I think there's a French official and maybe a Dutch official for the other ones as well. And then beneath us, we have 1 assistant chief, and then all the technical officials for that race sit underneath us. So we are in charge of all the disputes and all the scary things that happen with such a big race. So it's an absolute honour to have been asked. And you do get an email from them. They email you and tell you that you've been selected. So it's very it's very exciting to be chosen by world.
You both to be selected and represent at such a highest level, and to have 2 Brits at Dime Champs is amazing. And I know your counterpart also does chief reffing at High Rocks as well. He doesn't get. He's like, I need more. So
and we're both athletics officials as well.
Oh yes. So
so we often chat about athletics as well, because we both use that as our background. So myself and Sean both officiate for athletics.
You're working towards an athletic technical official qual. Yes. What are you working towards?
I am being assessed for my level 2 track official in a few weeks. So I will not be Spartan.
And that level 2 is realistically like a level 4 in the OCR, if we do, for the amount of time, the amount of disciplines, and so
a lot of work to get up the levels with athletics. It takes a lot. And if you think about, I am a young official in athletics in my mid-40s. I'm young. That is how old some of our athletics officials are. They classify me as the youth.
Well, I think having the experience of you and Sean with both your qualifications in athletics and in OCR and in Ninja, I think that the World Champs is in safe hands. And I think, as much as it's scary because it is next month, I think there's nothing there that you two won't just breeze through with your debonair personalities, coordination, and know if required.
I shouted. I scared people at the Europeans by shouting at somebody. Someone's got me on video going, no, because they missed the obstacle. So I shouted. But it's all good. But I would say, before I get off by Mr. Brenton, if anybody in the team is interested in becoming a technical official, we appreciate it. I think the course is about £10 or something like that. It's not very much money. You get your free tabard. Sorry, bib. I'm not allowed to call it a tabard because people think of cleaning, but I'm from the Midlands, so it's a tabard.
Tabard?
Tabard, yeah, like a cleaning tabard.
Yeah.
So you get your bib. This is included. And we need that. You don't have to do it all the time at all. You know, if you're injured or you're having a break, or you're at Spartan, for example, with and you're racing one day but you're there for the weekends, you don't do a full shift as a technical official. You just officiate the elite and the age category races with Spartan. So you're not marshalling, you are very much a technical official. You just do that job and then that's it. And as Paul know, we did the Gloucester 100 metre, the ninja competition, which was a few hours, and it was absolutely hilarious. Running around in circles with our flags up. Flag. But it was so much fun, and and that's the thing, time trials are so much fun, and you can still race, you know, and still do it. With technical officiating, I race open because I want to do both. So yeah, it's all, everyone get involved and we can only get bigger and better.
Jo, before we finish, there is a segment I've just made up, and it's the hat of knowledge, and I have to have a different thing. So I'm thinking that actually, as I was at ETM, you actually got, because I was wearing this hat and
like it.
So thinking of British obstacle sports and OCR where it is at the moment, there are still people that are new to the sport, and it will be a sport very shortly. So what is your top tip for people thinking about coming into OCR and lace that with joining the British Obstacle Sports?
Good question.
Ooh.
Good question. I would say if you enjoy jumping in puddles, running through mud, getting stuck on barbed wire, freezing cold, breaking the ice in the middle of winter, all the reasons why we started this sport many, many years ago before we got so good at where we are, then join, support your local, support your federation and join it, support us so that we can be obstacle course racing, I don't know, in the Olympics, not just 100 meters, tiny bit of modern pentathlon, so that we can have Olympic medalists with mud all over their faces. But definitely, if you join a running club, you become a member and you become a member of England Athletics. So why would you not join British Obstacle Sports? It's a no-brainer.
Jo, I just want to find a frozen lake and do the Winter Hoff movement after that speech. I'm inspired. So I will keep you no more. I will say thank you very much for, I know you are linked to the Obstacle Gym team, but you are a fundamental key person in the development of technical officials, the British Obstacle Sports, and the placing of Great Britain of where we are on the map, and having two people in the World Champs sings so much about you and Sean and the rest of the committee's dedication to the sport. So just from us here at the Obstacle Gym and all those in GT, I'd just like to say thank you for your continuous belief and passion, and it is a pleasure to have you on the show today. So.
Thank you very much for having me, and I feel I need to do like a bit of a chest show as well, but not like that. Not that kind of podcaster.
It is not that kind of, it is when it's later, but not when the children are watching. Jo, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Well, there we go, folks. That was a great chat with Jo, all about her, the British Obstacle Sports, the membership, the technical officials, and a bit about her background in the world of athletics. So, thank you for joining me here on the Gab, and we look forward to episode 4 in the future. At the moment, it is an open slot, so it'll be exciting to see who in the G team or the Obstacle Gym members steps forwards into the breach. Thank you very much for joining me. Have a great weekend.